Yesenia.
Good morning, tutor. How are you?
I'm very well. How about you?
Very well, also. Thank you for asking. Here at home,
Nice. And how are you, Lauren?
I'm good. Sure. Thank you for
Nice.
asking. What about you?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. We also have Valeria. Valeria, do you hear me? I don't think you
Can you
have
see
any
me?
of. Oh, okay. Yes, I hear you. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for being here. As you guys know, today we have a weekly session, and today's topic is about university degrees. Uh, this in this session, this will be your 6th week, and we will have 4 weeks left for weekly sessions. And this 4 weeks left that we have left, we're gonna try to acquire more vocabulary. And this is the start of one of those lessons. So this is basically a vocabulary lesson, and that it's about university degrees. So let's have a quick warm up. I have 2 questions here. Number 1, number 2. I'm gonna ask each one of you either of those questions. So let's start with you, Lauren. So let's think about some of the requirements when applying for college. What do you think are some of those requirements, Lauren?
Uh, some requirements for applying a college is to be a um, disciplined person and responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to know what things do you want to study or
Mm-hmm. Okay, very well.
skills.
So you're talking about skills. We can summarize that under skills. That's very well. Thank you for that, Lauren. Now, let's go with Valeria. Valeria, what do you think are some of these requirements when applying for college?
Well, I know that in some countries like United States, students when they are in high school they have to send a letter, making
Letter.
like register about the university that they want to attend. And many of them in high school they have some interviews, and if they approve the interviews or the exam, some text that they have to present, they can access to college. And also, of course, they have to, this is one of the requirements, and well, they have enough money to pay the I don't know how to say matricula, but to pay the university or attend to a scholarship. This is also very common in some countries like United States because private universities or college are very expensive.
Oh, okay. That was excellent. Thank you for that. So you talk letter, interviews, fees, and scholarships. Very well, Valeria. Now, Yesenia, let's go with this second question. And I want you to tell me, what are the potential benefits of getting a degree?
getting a degree is going to widen the opportunities on the professional field. To it will increase the chances to get good jobs with um, better incomes,
Mm-hmm.
and also it will open the door to get even better diplomas, like a master, a PhD,
Postgrades. That's
postgrad.
That's true. Very well. Now let me check right now if we have Jose. No, Jose is not here. So yes, guys, you pretty much sum it up everything that we have to pass through when we apply for any college degree. And this is especially true for undergraduate students. So, very well. Now, why are we talking about vocabulary of university? So, since most international exams are aimed at qualifying you for college applications, you must have the necessary knowledge, that is vocabulary, of all the spectrum related to the academia, that is the university. So that means we're gonna talk about fees, we're gonna talk about housing, what is a scholarship, and everything related to that. It's not necessary we have knowledge, for example, if we're studying English, that we have vocabulary for the field of English. If we're studying engineering, that we have the vocabulary for that. It's not like that. So it's more about the process of what we have to go through when we go to college. So, as I always say, the best idea and the best method to get vocabulary is to get vocabulary in context. So for this reason, I have prepared a reading that's about the admission process of the University of Michigan. Let me open it for you before I give you guys the link, and I'm gonna tell you what I am expecting from you to get from this reading. So as we open it, we're gonna see costs. I want you to read all the paragraphs and pay special attention to those words that are new for you. For example, I might have maybe tuition here. Oh, it's not writing. Or I had another one here. Okay, waiver. So in those 10 minutes, analyze those words. Maybe try to find them in a dictionary, and try to see what those words mean. Also, housing, anything like that. So let me give you guys a link. I'm gonna copy and paste it on Skype. So please open the chat. You're gonna be able to see that right now. Okay, Valeria, you got it. Yesenia, okay, and Lauren, yeah. So from now on, you're gonna have 10 minutes to read that. Make sure to open give it just 1 second to open this subtitle that says applying for college. You click on that and it's gonna open a new text. All right.
Wait. In which part?
I'm sorry, what was that?
In which part we have to click in?
All right, so what you get first is cost. You scroll down and you get
Yes.
paying for college. You click on that and it opens up a new paragraph.
Yes, that's true.
Great.
I
Yeah.
can see.
Nice. So guys, 10 minutes from now, and I'm gonna be back with you in 10 minutes. Please mute
But
your
we just-
microphones. Yes, Valeria?
We are going to read Paying for College in 10 minutes. Is it right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So please mute your microphones so you guys don't disturb each other. Thank you. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, I get one question from Lauren. Teacher, we can open the link, visit the register website. Right now, I recommend you not to open it because we're about to finish the time, and we're gonna review that website. So, but keep it there. If it's interesting for you, you can visit it later when we finish this class. Okay, guys, so time is over. I'm gonna go back to the website, and I want you guys to ask you, what did you find interesting? What kind of words were new for you? And overall, well, what was new for you? So, Yesenia, please tell me, what do you think about this website, or what did you find new about this?
The words that I found new in this reading was the ferret. Let me write it on the chat. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Deferred.
Deferred.
Mm-hmm.
Deferred, which is to postpone or delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Suspend until a certain time or event. Another one that I found was pathway. I had like a previous. I know that I saw it before, but I was not sure about what that means. And tuition.
Tuition. Oh, okay.
Tuition. The
Very well.
charge or fee for instruction.
Yeah, that is basically matricula and the equivalent. So what we have to pay in order to get access to college. Very well, Yesenia. Now, let's go with Valeria. Valeria, what was interesting about this website for you? Maybe the prices, housing. Tell me. Valeria, you have to unmute your microphone. Okay, let me check if Valeria is here. Yeah. Alright, that's not a problem. So let's go with Lauren. Lauren, please tell me.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you now. So what did you find interesting about that website?
Okay. I was telling you that I found interesting that people that live in which Michigan University is located have to pay less than the people that don't live in where the university is located, and also that a requirement to check if that people actually live in Michigan is that they have to attend to high schools. Because if they don't attend to some high schools, well, they have to pay like non-resident, and the increase is more than half. Is a lot. For example, tuition and fees for resident just $50,000, and non-resident $51,000, and the difference is a lot. So I don't know if it just works in this university, but I think that if the family want that a boy go to university, they have to think before they finish the studies, because for example, if they want that they go to Michigan University, it's better that they move to Michigan and the student finish the last year in Michigan in order to reduce the cost of the tuition in the university.
Okay, and I have a question for you. That was excellent, thank you. Why do you think the tuition fee is higher for non-residents? Do you think there's a reason for that?
Maybe it's for encourage that students and people that live in Michigan attend to that university and
Mhm.
give the opportunity to the resident people to attend instead of the other people. I think so.
Okay, very well. Encouragement. Well, there's also something that is worth mentioning here, but I'm gonna talk about that just after Lauren. All right. So, thank you for that, Valeria. Now, Lauren, what can you tell me about this website or some of the words that you found interesting or new? Lauren, you have to open your microphone to speak. Okay.
Thank you, teacher. About this website, I could understand there are a lot of information for people who want applicate to this college. And also we can find different price for resident or non-resident. And in the information say, I'm not sure if the information paying for college below, people can find an information about the financial resource
Mm-hmm. All right.
or some websites in which people can ask about more information concerning with this health for the students.
All right.
Um,
Yes. The website is also talking about financial aids. You're supposed to say it aids instead of help because it's quite different the meaning, but very well. So, thank you for that, Lauren. Now, I want to mention something quite important in this website, and is that we have, for example, a fee waiver. Um, Valeria, do you know what's a fee waiver? Can you help me with that?
No, I don't know.
So, a waiver is anything that grants you a possibility for you to take. In this case, as we're talking about the university and the cost of university, is a possibility you can take to make your fee cheaper. So that's a fee waiver. Maybe you don't have a job, or maybe you have in a special city that doesn't get as much income as other cities, so you can apply for a waiver. That's a waiver. Now, here we're also talking about housing and meals.
Housing meals.
This one
Yes.
is important because it's gonna lead me to the answer of this that seemed really interesting, and that is that residents pay a reduced cost of the fee. So housing and meals means that students are allowed to live in the campus. They pay special rent, they have their rooms, and it's like living in a hotel, but they're living inside the university. So that's why they're talking about in housing and meals. Now, why is that residents pay less than non-residents? These residents is talking about university residents. It doesn't have to deal anything with the state of Michigan. As you know, Michigan is a state. It has about, if I'm not right, it's like 11 cities. So it's enormous. So when we're talking about residents, we're talking about campus residents, people that live in the campus. So residents pay less because housing is quite expensive. It goes by year. They pay normally $50,000 in just housing for 1 year. So who's getting that money? The university. Now who's getting the money for the tuition? The university. So that's why they make a reduced price on that. So to encourage, this was said by Valeria, to encourage students living inside the campus. There's also something very important, and it's that most of the undergrad programs for the United States last 3 years. This is also true for Europe. Most of programs in Europe last 3 years to 4 years, and sometimes 5 years, but that's quite rare. This is as opposed to Colombia. Let me write it here, US, and here we have Colombia. Most programs, undergraduate programs, last 5 years. And why is that? Well, this is something that I often criticize in this system, and it's that in Colombia we have to study, let's say in one semester we have to study 8 courses. And each of these courses we have to study one chapter of one book. Whereas in the United States, you have by year 6 to 3 courses, and out of these courses, you no longer have to study chapters, but entire books and even volumes. So maybe for one course you have to study 3 volumes of linguistics if you're studying English. So there's more specificity, whereas in Colombia we have to study, well, in the case that you guys are studying English, you have to see anthropology, statistics, ethics, and it's kind of filling the gap kind of courses. So that's why I criticize it. In these countries like United States and Europe, we get to study only what we have to study. And well, you might say, in Colombia we're doing this and it's going great, or in the United States they do that and it's not so good. So you might have your own opinion for that, and I respect that. Now I have one question. Freshman, sophomore. Yeah, that has to do with the number of years. So if it's your first year, you're called a freshman. If it's your second year, you're called a sophomore. And if it's your last year, you're called a senior. That's the vocabulary for that. Thank you, Lauren, for that. Now, let's have a quick reflection about this in order to increase our vocabulary. Again, we're gonna do it in the form of questions. Number 3, number 4, and number 5. So, Valeria, please help me with this first question. In your culture, who are mainly responsible for saving money and paying for college? Parents or children?
Well, I think that like the general rule is that parents have to pay the college, but there are many parents that they don't have the economical resources, so many students have to study and pay and work at the same time to pay the studies. So I think that is like 50-50.
50-50, alright. That's a good guess. Thank you, Valeria. Now let's go with Yesenia. Please help me with the second question. If children pay at least part, what values can they learn from such an experience? So please unmute your microphone and tell me.
They will learn to be responsible of their own professional development. They will know how much or cost to earn money to be able to pay for the studies, and they will understand that the importance of being very juicioso with their subjects and their activities to develop and will do their best to graduate on time.
Mm. Okay, very well. So yeah, you're talking about some form of appreciation. That is correct. Very well, Yesenia. Now, for the third question, I want Lauren to help me with that. So, what percent of college students have part-time jobs? What do you take a guess? What do you think is that percentage? Yesenia. No, I'm sorry, Lauren. So please open your microphone and tell me the answer.
Part-time. This is about the reading teacher or
No, it's a reflection about our own culture, of our Colombian culture.
I think maybe 50% the students have part-time jobs, maybe.
Very well. It's just a guess, so yeah, we're dealing with part-time jobs. Do you know what is a part-time job?
Means in Spanish, it's not full-time. It's not full-time.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, let's say it's 50-50. This is also what Valeria thinks. So very well, Lauren, thank you for that. Now let's go back with Valeria. So I'm gonna ask you this, and please answer the question. Does the money they earn go to pay for school expenses or other non-essential items like music, eating out, or trips? We're talking about students that work. So what do you think?
Well, I think that the students that have a part-time job and study at the same time, I think that most of the money goes to pay their studies, but maybe other part goes for transport, food, sometimes something to have a good time. I don't know, music or buy supplies that they need for the university. That's also that the students spend the money.
All right, that's true. Very well. So this is also very context dependent. It depends on the salary, and the income, on the kind of tuition aids that the student is getting. If that happened, it's probably that they spend some money on that. So very well. Now, for this last question, it's number 5. Yeah, it was number 4. So, Yesenia, what are the signs that university students have developed independence?
When they are capable to earn their own money and stop to require so much from their parents, and also when they don't need someone behind them telling them that they need to do their homework, and they have a schedule with all the activities and they follow it properly.
All right, very well. So it's basically when they earn money and they have to spend it themselves. So that's right. Now let's continue with the listening practice. So far we have been doing vocabulary preparation. We're gonna have one listening exercise. Before I share you guys that, I want to show you what is that about. So this is the link. You have to scroll down, and you're gonna see well, this image of graduates. And right here, where you see the play button, you're gonna see the listening exercise. It's about 3 minutes. After that, you have to answer these questions. So you have question number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You have 5 questions for that. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to answer those. Maybe you're gonna have the chance to listen to the audio 2 times. So if you need to do that, and let me know when you're finished. I'm gonna copy the link, paste it in the chat of Skype. So guys, please open it. Okay, so assuming that you already opened the link, you have 10 minutes from now on. And I'll see you in 10 minutes. I'll be here if you need anything. How much time, Lauren asks? So you're gonna have 10 minutes. And the audio lasts 3 minutes. About 3 minutes. Okay, guys, so time is over. I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen and the presentation. So, now is that we are arriving the closure. I want to know, guys, how well did you do? So, let's start with Yesenia. So, how well did you do with the exercise?
It was a little bit difficult because the speakers were talking very fast and they were interrupting each other, so it makes me lose like the information I had to listen to the audio like 3 times, 4 times. But at the end, I got a result of 5 out of 5.
Excellent. That was really good. You did very well. Sometimes we have to listen to the audios a couple of times. That's not a problem with just practicing. But in the coming weeks, we're gonna keep doing this audio exercise. So yeah, it was good of you to do repetitions. Thank you, Yesenia.
Thank you, tutor.
Now, Valeria, how well did you do, and what do you think about this exercise?
I like the exercise because I can get most of the listening, but there are some parts that they speak so fast that I don't get what they were talking about. For example, the part in which she talked about the national park, that she would like to work in that, I don't get it. Being honest, I didn't get that part, but I understand the main idea of the listening, even in the first time, and I like listen 2 times because sometimes in the first time that we listen, we don't get too much information, but in the second time, we made that, and I like the exercise, and I think that it was interesting.
That's nice, and yeah, that's true. Well, in the case of advanced audios, they talk faster than usual. It's no longer natural when you speak that fast, but they're trying to make you confused in some way or another. So that's why they try to talk fast. Of course, some people talk like that, but again, it's not natural. So yeah, only with practice we can discover those hidden concepts that they're talking about. Thank you very much for that, Valeria. Now, Lauren, what can you tell me about this exercise?
I think it's interesting because I can try the listening skills and reading and analyze at the same time. I did this exercise first. I read the questions and then I push the audio. I listen the audio twice. I
Yeah.
can answer. I could answer 3 questions fine.
3 out of 5?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that's fine.
Because the last one, I am not sure about the national park, and the other is earning a decent living. Earning a decent living. No, is I'm involved in a serious relationship. I thought that this part was scholarship, but the answer is involved in a serious relationship. The last question I answer in a correct way.
Very well. So,
Three answers.
all right. Thank you
Good.
for that. So I forgot to mention something, and it's also that when we are dealing with advanced audios, or listening exercises, well, yeah, they talk fast, but also they talk with special phrases. I forgot the exact name for that. Idioms. Idioms is that. So in this case, well, they talk about American idioms that maybe we're not acquainted with that, but whenever we have that, we can Google that and we're gonna learn about it. But again, the easiest way to learn this is by reading, like we did with that web page. That's it for today, guys. That's the end for this lesson. Well, I appreciate your time being here, and I'll see you next one. All right?
Thank you, tutor. Thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed this class today.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that.
Let's and every classmate.
All right, that's nice. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, have a nice day, and that's it. Bye bye.
Goodbye, tutor.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye, girls. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye bye.